Let's get into this shit though. Look who just uploaded, my boy Matty Bowles on some shit, for artists who ruined their careers with one album. Let's get into this shit, boy. What the fuck is going on? Why the fuck is it so low? Hold on.
Whether it's a cringy breakup album, an album so bad no one knows how it was even released, or simply a mediocre album that caused fans to switch up, the music industry is a very fickle place. No artist really knows what the outcome of releasing an album could be. Best case scenario, it goes #1 and you gain tons of fans, but today we're going to be looking at the worst case. We're going to be looking into artists that ruined their career after dropping just one album. First, I just want to say a couple things. One, this video was inspired by Jamari's video about Chance the Rapper, who of course is the perfect example of this, so you know I had to include him in this one as well. So shout out to Jamari for the video idea. And two, not necessarily everyone on this list ruined their careers. I think every artist in general has a chance to,
right? It ain't, listen thing, right? I wouldn't say like ruin their career with some artists. It just probably like tainted it, like put like a bad like little stain on their career. You feel me? Cause come on, chat, we all have that artist that probably like released that one bad fucking album, but it ain't really ruined their career. You feel me? So, you know, it just left a bad taste on their career. That's it, folks. Cause look, like, who's some artists I can name? I don't know, folks. I'm weird. Like, chat, when I listen to music, I'm be real with y'all niggas. I'm not a music critic, right? So if I'm listening to like an artist's music, I'm not like a say that about the artist, because clearly if the nigga was ass, he wouldn't be famous. See what I'm saying? It just personally, the artist ain't for me. Like Playboy Cardi, for example. Like, I don't listen to them type of niggas. You feel me? Or like, if I don't like a song, I just don't like it. Like, that's it. You feel me? I don't know. Or like an album. Cause I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I'm trying to say. Let me shut the fuck up. I'm chatting like a motherfucker. I know y'all like, shut the fuck up, play the video. I know. Let me, cause I don't know.
to make a comeback. But in this video specifically, we're going to be looking at a few different cases, like people who ruined their reputations, people who tremendously lowered their expectations from fans, or people who just straight up ruined their careers. So even if these artists do have a handful of monthly listeners, or they're rich and set for life, these are some artists that drop some stinkers that will forever stain their careers. So make sure to keep that in mind while watching, and let's continue with the video.
Chance the Rapper, obviously.
So like I said, Chance...
I don't listen to Chance the Rapper, so I don't give a fuck about this.
Chance the Rapper is probably one of the biggest examples of this topic. He began rapping in middle school and began working on his first mixtape in high school. He had released some music and had a little bit of buzz, and then released his debut mixtape, 10 Day, in 2012. Chance got a decent amount of attention, especially locally, and even got some recognition from
Caareers' very own.
He also got into contact with Childish Gambino and featured on his mixtape, and also opened for him on tour. The next year, he released his classic mixtape Acid Rap, with features from plenty of talented artists, which led to Chance really moving up in the music industry. He was nominated for Best Mixtape of the Year at the BET Awards, he began touring, was featured in commercials, and also performed at Lollapalooza. Then in 2014, he was an XXL freshman and started appearing in tons of other things in the following years. He also met Kanye in 2014, who was one of his favorite artists of all time, and they eventually began to work together on Kanye's album The Life of Pablo. When this album released in 2016, Chance was all over it with writing credits and multiple verses. It was also on this album that Chance said, "I met Kanye West, I'm never gonna fail," which would eventually become...
Hey, why do I always see that shit when it comes to Chance the Rapper? I say I met Kanye West, I'm never gonna fail. Everybody always brings that shit up back to that nigga because clearly, as you see, folks fail. Yo, shout out Chance, man.
Come an iconic line for a variety of reasons. Regardless, Chance the Rapper was everywhere, and people loved him for his personality. He had a very positive and friendly vibe to him, and he was also becoming more open about his religion, which made some people like him even more. Following his busy years and recent work on Life of Pablo, Chance the Rapper released Coloring Book, which was his third mixtape. People loved this album. It sold 38,000 copies first week and hit #8 on the Billboard 200, despite being released exclusively on Apple Music. Chance was on top of the world and had been working with tons of brands like H&M, Nestle, and more. He threw a festival in Chicago and went on tour following his mixtape. In 2017, Chance performed at the Grammys, was nominated for 7, and won 3 Grammy Awards. He headlined an event at the Obama Foundation and was in a Super Bowl commercial for Doritos. He also teased a collab with Kanye, but unfortunately that never ended up happening. Chance the Rapper was on his way to becoming a certified A-list celebrity. But then, on July 6th of 2019, he released his debut album, The Big Day.
Again, I don't even listen to Chance, but I just know motherfuckers hate this album.
A decade into his career, Chance the Rapper released his debut studio album, and it was entirely dedicated to his wife, Kirsten Corley. The Big Day was heavily influenced by his marriage that had happened in March of that year, and it wasn't really received too poorly by critics, but the internet absolutely tore it up. I'm sure you guys all remember this meme.
Yes. Oh, I love my wife. I love my wife. Let's go ride a bike with my wife. My wife's really young, my wife's real small. Let's go to the beach and play with the beach ball.
Gas,
Jesus God and my wife. Let's go to the beach and ride a bike.
This actually became such a big meme that he even has a page on Know Your Meme explaining the whole situation. Genius also even made a video describing every single time Chance mentioned his wife on this album. Chance was clowned all over the internet for this for a very long time to come, and as I'm sure many of you know, it's really hard to break out of the meme status. Once someone makes you into a meme, it will likely follow you around for your entire career. And I do feel bad for Chance because I honestly didn't think the album was that bad, but I also enjoy pretty much anything with a melody and a rhythm, so maybe I'm not the best critic. Regardless, following the release of this album, his career took a turn for the worse. Chance was arguing back and forth with fans on Twitter who were critiquing his album. He was arguing back and forth with one guy for a little bit, constantly getting ratioed in the process. Some people even thought he was hacked because it was so irregular for him to act like this. He also canceled his tour because of what people speculated was low ticket sales. Chance said that he had to cancel the tour to spend time with his family, and he did just have a second kid. But because there were BOGO sales going for tickets and the tour had been postponed, it wouldn't be too surprising if ticket sales weren't great. However, apparently all of this could have been avoided if Chance had just listened to his manager. Chance had recently fired his manager, Pat Corcoran, and even more recently, Pat filed a lawsuit against him. The lawsuit was mostly about money that Pat was owed. However, he also mentioned The Big Day. Pat said that Chance was ignoring his advice about the album and even blamed him for poor reception and poor ticket sales, which confirms the theory that he canceled his tour because of poor ticket sales. On top of all of that, he was recently seen dancing with some random girls, which had people questioning how he can make an entire album about his wife and then do that. Regardless, Chance's situation is very unfortunate because he is very talented. Since the Big Day incident in 2019, he hasn't released an album, and he has released some solid music and has a decent amount of fans, but he really hurt his career after that album.
Damn. Robin Thicke.
Robin Thicke is an artist that fell off
Thicke. That nigga Robin Thicke as fuck. Robin Thicke.
Quicker than he blew up. I remember listening to Blurry Lines and watching the video when I was in like 6th grade, and I don't remember hearing anything about Robin Thicke since. So Robin Thicke was born into a family already in the industry, with his mom being Gloria Loring, an actress and singer, and his dad being Alan Thicke, an actor. Robin also did a little bit of acting as he grew up. However, he eventually took an interest in music. He made a group called As One and recorded a demo tape with his group. Somehow, the R&B singer Brian McKnight got a hold of his demo tape and began to work with Robin. Anyways, after working with Brian McKnight for a while, he was able to make more connections that led to him signing with Interscope Records at the age of only 16. Robin was first able to work his way into the industry by writing and producing songs for other artists. But then in 1999, at the age of 22, he began making his first album. He released a song called When I Get You Alone, which even reached the charts across the world, which is pretty impressive for a first song. Following that success, he released his album A Beautiful World, which didn't do super well, especially when you put it next to his debut single, but by 2012 it did sell about 120,000 copies. And while, like I said, the album didn't perform super well, a lot of people in the music industry were actually able to find out about Robin because of this album, and they thought he was pretty talented. One of those people was Pharrell, who produced his next single, Wanna Love You Girl. Then he released his next album, The Evolution of Robin Thicke, in 2006, which even featured Lil Wayne. Along with that album came the song Lost Without You, which was his breakout hit. Robin continued steadily releasing albums over the next 7 years and was was growing his fan base. But everything would change on March 26th of 2013 when Robin Thicke released the song Blurred Lines with T.I. and Pharrell, which was released as the lead single to his upcoming album. As I'm sure you all know, Blurred Lines absolutely blew up. Since the song was released, it has been certified diamond, and it was also the 13th biggest song of the 2010s. He released his album Blurred Lines a few months later, and it sold 177,000 copies. But all of that success was not without controversy. Robin took the brunt of the criticism for the lyrics, although they were mostly written by Pharrell, because many people thought this song was promoting culture, with the phrase blurred lines referring to issues of consent. However, Pharrell has said that he was referring to being rejected. The music video and song were also under fire for being misogynistic. Regardless, the song was a huge success, and it brought Robin to a whole nother level that he would never see again. Also, in August of 2013, during the MTV Video Music Awards, Robin performed Blurred Lines with Miley Cyrus, which resulted in another huge controversy, with people saying it was too raunchy or too sexist and other things along those lines. It was actually the most tweeted about event ever, with 360,000 tweets about it per minute, which is absolutely insane. Regardless, it was an event that would foreshadow the downfall of Robin Thicke's career. Following the VMAs, pictures of Robin grabbing some girl's butt circulated the internet, which was a big deal because he was married to the actress/model Paula Patton. They had met when he was 14 and had been together for 21 years. She helped him write songs, was in his music videos, and was on the cover for one of his albums. They were both very public and very close, but on February 4th of 2014, Paula Patton and Robin Thicke divorced. This was the inspiration for Robin's next album called Paula, which was an album all about his ex-wife that was released in 2014. It was made in just a month, and it shows. With songs like You're My Fantasy, Get Her Back, Still Madly Crazy, Love Can Grow Back, and Too Little Too Late, it's pretty obvious what the album is about. On Get Her Back, Robin expresses his regrets in his relationship, and on Little Too Late, he does the same thing. The video for Get Her Back was even weirder, with text messages flashing with things like, "We had everything. Why? I can't make love to you anymore. I wrote a whole album about you." To which she responds, "I don't care." So I'm sure you guys are getting a pretty good picture of this album. It was basically just a really cringy album about wanting his ex-wife back. The music itself wasn't terrible.
So, don't make albums about your wife, or you gonna get the chance to rapper treatment.
The lyrics and the overall message were pretty rough. One critic even called it one of the creepiest albums ever made. He would even say things like "help me get her back" while performing his songs live. It was really just a very pathetic album that came off as very weird. This album sold 24,000 copies in the US, which is crazy in comparison to his previous 177,000. And what's even worse is it sold 550 copies in Canada, 530 copies in the UK, and 54 copies in Australia. That's not short for 1,000 either. Those are triple-digit numbers right there. Robin himself did say that he regrets releasing the album commercially because it was so personal, and Paula has never commented on it, but I do feel pretty bad for her that it even exists. Following Paula, Robin didn't release an album until 2021, about 7 years later. Also, I want to give a shout out to Todd in the Shadows. I found him while making this video, and he did a much more in-depth video on this subject. He has a series called Train Records where he covers albums that were just train wrecks. So it's pretty interesting. He makes really good videos, and I just found him recently, so I want to share his channel with you guys. Yeah, he's really entertaining, much more in depth. I'll leave a link below.
Roddy Ricch. Oh my god. Yo, I forgot about Roddy. Yo, you know what I hate about Roddy's shit? Because his other album, Please Excuse for Being Antisocial, was beautiful, right? But his other album, I don't even remember what the fuck that shit was called. But I remember, chat, I had listened to that shit. I listened to like 2 or 3 songs off that shit. And chat, I merch on my brother grave, folk. I listened to like 2 or 3 songs off that motherfucker. And I promise you, I deadass was bored as fuck. And I just literally... I didn't listen to the rest of the album. At that Thursday, I was like, yeah, I'm done. Clicked off the album, and that was it. I didn't listen to the rest of the album. After them 3 songs, I was like, yeah, I'm done. I promise you. I don't know what it was, but every single song sounded so fucking boring. Like, oh my god, I fucking forgot about that shit. This nigga album was so bad. And I felt so bad because Roddy was so fucking raw to me. But that nigga album, I don't know what it was, but like every single song sounded the fucking same. I promise y'all that shit was so fucking dog shit. Fuck that album.
So Roddy Ricch is someone who I definitely think could make a comeback because
After
he
2
is
3
very
songs, I was
talented,
done. I just
but
went
ever
off the
since
album.
releasing his sophomore album, his career has been on a very steep decline. He began making music when he was 16 years old and released his first mixtape, Feed the Streets, in 2017. It had a handful of popular songs that caught the attention of many artists like Mustard, Meek Mill, Nipsey Hussle, and 03 Greedo. These connections were instrumental in helping his career grow. Following that project, he released an EP called Before the Fame, and also performed at a Nipsey Hussle concert in LA. That same year, he began the rollout for his next mixtape, Feed the Streets 2, with the release of the single Die Young. This song would become Roddy's breakout hit, helping him blow up and carve out a lane for himself, and also get the attention of other artists. He performed with Meek Mill, featured on his album alongside Future and Young Thug, and then he released Feed the Streets 2. It peaked at 67 on the Billboard 200. In 2019, he featured on Nipsey Hussle's song Racks in the Middle, which led to him getting a Grammy for Best Rap Performance. He featured on a remix of Post Malone's Wow, and then was on the song Ballin' with Mustard, a song from Mustard's album Perfect 10. This song was a huge success, and this is how I personally found Roddy, because that was a really good song. The album itself is certified gold, so it definitely helped Roddy get some exposure. Then in late 2019, with all of his buzz and industry connections, Roddy began rolling out his debut album. He released a few really good singles and then dropped the album Please Excuse Me for Being Antisocial on December 6 of 2019. The album itself was really good, but one song in particular stood out, and that song was The Box. The Box had a really weird intro, which led to it becoming a huge meme on TikTok with over 1.2 million videos being made to that sound. However, the song itself was also really good, which helped it blow up and become a smash hit. The Box has 1.6 billion streams on Spotify, spent 11 weeks at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, and is certified diamond. This was no doubt Roddy's biggest song to date, and he even had artists like Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez begging their fans to get their songs to #1.
Yeah, and he beat their ass. They couldn't get their song to #1. That nigga beat Selena and Justin Bieber.
The album itself too was really good, and it sold 101,000 copies first week. However, it would be all downhill from there. In an interview with GQ in 2020, Roddy Ricch said that he was making his second album and that it was a full-blown masterpiece. I
listened to 2 or 3 songs off that album, Roddy, and I just turned the shit off. The album was so fucking dog shit, masterpiece. And what's so crazy, I don't remember one song off that album, and I forgot this nigga released the album. I don't remember the name of it. Chat, y'all gotta realize this, right? I promise y'all Scud, like, for my brother, folks, like, I was so disappointed because I fucked with Roddy so much. I was so disappointed.
Real idea and a real body of work. And based on what he had just previously delivered, people were very excited for his next album. However, people were waiting and waiting for a very long time. Other than a couple features here and there and his appearance on Rockstar, Roddy Ricch was not releasing his album. Then, finally about 2 years after releasing his debut album, he released his sophomore album, Live Life Fast. Like I said, it was extremely hyped up, and he even said that the album had a no-skip policy.
Yup. He literally said that. A no-skip policy. Yo, oh my god, that shit was so dog shit. Oh my god. I was so pissed because I was so happy when that shit released. And chat, the third song, I know I keep saying this, but I literally just literally turned my phone off. I was like, yeah, I'm done. I was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm not listening to this shit.
But it did not live up to the expectations at all. The album wasn't even bad. It was just so mediocre that fans were...
Yes! That's the thing, but I don't give a fuck. That shit was dog shit because all the songs... The 3 songs I heard off that bitch was just... Oh, okay. Like, I don't even fucking remember how they sounded. It was just like, oh, okay.
Very let down. He got a lot of hate with comments like, he must be living life fast because the album sounds like he made it in a week. And Roddy saw the hate, immediately announcing that he would be dropping another album next year. The album also only sold 62,000 copies first week, which is about 40% less than what his previous album sold. Then, a couple months after releasing that album, Roddy Ricch posted a snippet of some new music to Twitter, and the fans absolutely clowned him him for it, so much so that he deactivated his Twitter and posted on Instagram saying, "Guess I'm a flop now." One person even referred to it as the Chance the Rapper-ification of Roddy Ricch. And while that's a terrible phrase, it is true. Because like I said, once you become a meme or start getting clowned on, it's really hard to break out of that. However, Roddy did later do an interview with DJ Academics in which he gave other reasons as for why he left the internet.
Don't tell me you're letting these niggas get to you.
Hell nah. You gotta understand, before the fame, I wasn't an Instagram nigga. They'll tell you I wasn't getting on Instagram Live, taking pictures. I don't even take pictures of myself. I really be putting shit on.
It was clear though that the internet was getting to him, especially since he said in an interview, a lot of—
Yeah, Roddy, that's cap, let's be honest with you, gang. You got off there and there because niggas was clowning the always. I hate when rappers, like, that's the thing about rappers. I hate when rappers gotta seem like they so cool and so unbothered about shit. Gee, you a human, folks. That shit got to you, so you said, fuck these niggas, I'm getting off this shit. Come on, Roddy, come on. You feel me? It's okay. That shit got to you, my nigga. It's all good. It's good. I'm fucking great.
A lot of people don't have to deal with more than 10 people. So just imagine 7 million that see your posts every day. Roddy was very clearly under a lot of pressure and a lot of stress. He even addressed these expectations in an interview.
What do you say to yourself when people try to have these expectations and they're so—
Well, my nigga, you the one that said that shit was a no skip policy and said that shit was a masterpiece. So what the fuck you expect motherfuckers to expect from the album? Like, y'all rappers be doing this shit to y'allselves sometimes. So.
Unrealistic.
I would, I mean, that's on them. You know what I mean? I feel like I've just been having a great career in rap. You know what I'm saying? Every album is not going to be the greatest album to ever live. And, we got to be okay with that.
Then about a year after dropping his previous album, Roddy released the album Feed the Streets 3, which only sold 38,000 copies.
I didn't even know that.
So it's obvious ever since releasing Live Life Fast paired with the whole Twitter snippet incident thing, Roddy's career has been on a decline. And it is very unfortunate because he is a very talented artist. But like the interview from earlier alluded to, he has really high expectations following his debut album Antisocial because it was a really good album. So it is unfortunate, but I think Roddy could easily come back if he just drops an album that's on par with or better than Antisocial.
Right. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. This nigga right here needs to be studied. This nigga fall off. Hold on. I think this needs to be studied. I ain't gonna lie. Let me tell y'all little nigga something, right? Let me tell y'all something. When Namir came out in 2017, right, he dropped Rubbing Off the Paint. And a couple other songs that was good, right? That was full of features. Some features here and there, cool. They was good, right? I didn't think this nigga was gonna be a big ass artist, but I thought, okay, this nigga raw as hell. I thought he was just gonna be one of the artists that like on the Elite Chopper type of fame. You see what I'm saying? Like, he fame, like he good, but he not like super A-list, like he just right there, like okay, that's not me. He raw as hell, like woo. But this nigga, I don't know what the fuck happened. I don't know what happened. After he released this album and this Soul Train, I don't. Cause thing is though, folks, if you listen to Namir, oh shit, this nigga could rap. Like his shit was raw as hell. Like folks was raw as hell. This GTA ass nigga, like this nigga was raw as hell. But I don't know. This shit needs
So
to
I
be
covered
studied.
YBN Namir's career in a previous video, but he had a catastrophic fall off after releasing his debut album, so I just had to include him in this one. Namir and his friends met on Xbox and formed a collective called YBN and started making music together. He started releasing music solo and with YBN members in 2015 and continued releasing music from there. He was just making music for fun with his friends like a lot of people in high school do, and he released a couple of mixtapes in 2016 and 2017. All of his music was made with just a blue snowball microphone in his bedroom, so it was clear he wasn't super serious. Namir was young, still in high school, and having fun with his music when he released the song Rubbing Off the Paint. The song began to get attention, and then Worldstar reached out to him to post the song. So they posted it on their channel and it went mega viral. Rubbing Off the Paint was a huge hit. It hit 46 on the
It's
Billboard.
so crazy. I still remember the day. Fun fact, I actually saw this the day it got released. The same day it got released. I'm not even playing. Same day Worldstar posted that shit, I listened to this shit. I was like, oh, who this shit? I'm like, damn, this shit raw as hell. Boy, who the fuck for them? Listen to Movi, she was raw as hell, but I don't know what the fuck Namir doing now.
Hot 100, went 2 times platinum, and became a classic song from the SoundCloud era. To this day, Rubbing Off the Paint is one of his biggest songs. He continued releasing music like Bounce Out With That, The Race Remix, and more that helped him grow steadily as they were fairly good.
Hook
He
was
followed
raw.
up his massive
All that
success
shit
with
was
YBN
raw.
The Mixtape, a mixtape featuring himself and the other YBN members. His success helped put other people like Almighty J and Corday on the map as well. This mixtape featured art.
Hey, so we can all agree that Corday was the rawest out the whole group, right? Right? We can all agree with that, right? Like Corday was the rawest out the group. Okay, cool.
Artists like Gucci Mane, MGK, Lil Skies, Wiz Khalifa, Chris Brown, and more. They were clearly blowing up and becoming much more successful. By this point, Namir had also signed with Atlantic Records and was also featured by XXL in their 2018 freshman class, which was a lot more relevant back then. Speaking of XXL, I've been thinking of covering their decline and how they're...
Yo, you know what's so crazy about XXL? Pretty much after 2017, like 2017, 2018, them niggas just like I don't know what happened to XXL. It's like they keep getting. It's like, okay, this is the problem with XXL. It's like they could be good, but it's like they keep getting people on there that's like not a lot of people don't hurt them. And I get it. It helps the artists on there that don't have a lot of exposure get exposed and shit. So that's not their fault. But it's like it's just I don't know.
Kind of not as relevant as they used to be. So let me know in the comments if you think that's interesting. If it's not, I won't do it, but if it is, I will. Anyways, Namir was in a really good spot, but hadn't been releasing much solo music other than a few features here and there. He released Two Seater with G-Eazy and Offset, which had some decent success, and the song Opstapa, which didn't really blow up until it hit TikTok, which then led to a remix featuring 21 Savage. But other than that, fans were waiting for his debut album. However, he wasn't releasing anything, so like I said with the fast food thing, he was falling into irrelevancy. Then finally, about 4 years after coming out with Rubbing Off the Paint, he released his debut album Visionland. This album was not
so it's so funny. I didn't even listen to the album. What's so crazy? I'm gonna tell y'all a story. When that shit came out, I didn't even know Namir released the album. I just was hearing about a song about Namir. I'm like, this nigga released the album? What the fuck y'all talking about? And then I heard the song that everybody kept on memeing about because I was like, what is this Soul Train? And when I heard that, yo, chat, to this day, that whole song that Namir put on that shit, that was a joke, right? Like, there's no way, like, that. I thought the song was like a joke, like a meme song. I'm like, no, this ain't real, right? Like, yo, I swear to God, little folks, he got it
good. And also featured a song called Soul Train that turned him into a huge meme. Like we discussed with Roddy Ricch and Chance the Rapper, that is the last thing you want to happen to you in the music industry, especially if you don't have the music to back it up. On top of that, Visionland sold 4,000 copies, which also added to how much people were making fun of him on the internet. The music quality wasn't there. He waited 40 years to drop and he was turned into a meme. He kept digging a deeper hole for himself over the years as he was doing cringy dances, arguing with fans, begging No Jumper to not post memes of him, and he even mentioned starting an OnlyFans. YB and Namir had become the laughing stock of the rap community. To be fair to Namir, there were some issues with his label that we don't know too much about. However, he has tweeted a few times about how much he hated his label and how he couldn't wait to get out of his deal with it.
This is what I always come back to you niggas, folks. Stop being so, I know you niggas be thirsty to get out the hood and woo be seeing all them numbers. Stop being so thirsty to sign them deals, boy. Get a lawyer to read over that shit or a manager. Because you niggas be instantly signing them deals and you be fucked for life. On phone them. You can't drop the shit you want to drop.
So it's very possible that the label was delaying the release of his album, or maybe they put it on the back burner, or maybe they even had a hand in the creative decisions. Regardless, after releasing Visionland, YB and Namir's career has come crashing down. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to leave a like down below. Other than that, though, this has been Matty Balls, and I will see you guys next week.
Phone them gray, WVid on some shit, man. Shout out Matty Balls, man. Chat, we some soul trainers in this bitch. Soul Train. On phone them gray.